Well, hello, everybody. It's Margot Levette, her business, her voice, her conversation. I am so thrilled to be here. As you can see, we are coming in video. Sheniqua Johnson RN said yes to the video. And I am so happy about that. Welcome, Sheniqua.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Well, I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm glad that we're doing it with video
Hmm.
because people need to understand our passion. I am a
Yes.
passionate podcaster, and you are a passionate author
Yeah.
and publishing executive. So
Yes.
let everybody understand real quick who they are looking at, who they are going to hear from. And today we are going to talk about getting that book out. And so many of you all have, but it's not enough to just get that book out and written. You have to take it another step. You have to get that book published and get it out to the masses, and
Hmm.
that calls for PR. And Sheniqua
Yes.
Johnson, she is not the kind of person that gets you published and then say, bye bye, you're published. She gonna take you to the mat. So let me tell
Yes.
everybody, Sheniqua Johnson, first of all, she is a heavy hitter in the healthcare
Praise
field.
God.
Over 20 years of experience,
Mm-hmm.
dedication, and healthcare, working as an RN, which she
Hmm.
is a calling. Has a Bachelor of Science. She is a nurse leader, a health coach. Let's take it on over to the next thing. She is an author, rolling
Hmm.
with some big, strong dogs on this thing. And I know her from Women Inspiring Nations Collaborative Work.
Yes.
Dr. Cheryl Wood is
Hmm.
the reason why we met and we are all
Yes.
together. And that
Yes.
was my jaw still drops when I pick up
Yes.
that book and I look at how transparent all of us
Hmm.
were. Your
Hmm.
story, the rest of the ladies. And we met right here on Her Business, Her Voice, Her
Yes.
Conversation.
Yes, we did.
Cheryl Wood had his fabulous book signing. I'm in California. You all are there.
Hmm.
Terrible snowstorm came up. I got as
Yes.
far as Chicago, couldn't get any further. So everybody came on to my show and we
Yes.
talked. Oh, that was so wonderful,
Yes, it
so
was. It
wonderful.
was.
But it's not just Dr. Cheryl Wood that you've been in collaboration with. It's
Mhm.
also James Malinchak, and everybody
Mhm.
knows he is an awesome gentleman, a
Yes.
secret millionaire, and
Mhm.
I'm sure that the list goes on and on. As in
Yes.
spring 2019, Stronger Than Faith magazine. Let's start
Mhm.
out right there. What
Mhm.
made you decide now I am going to go ahead and make sure I get a magazine out there for the masses? That's huge undertaking.
It is. It is. And it was really just me stepping out on faith yet again, just pushing the limits, where somebody draws a line, you just push it a little further and push it a little further because I know with God on my side, I can do all things. So there's nothing too hard for me to do because I have the strength of the Lord. So if I see something, well, I'm going to attempt it. I'm going to go forward. And I always say, well, shoot, if somebody else can do it, why not me?
Yes.
Why not me? And I think oftentimes so many people forget that. They forget about who they are. Like they have this self-limiting belief that they can only do but so much. As you mentioned, I'm a registered nurse by profession. What what I know about writing? What am I doing in the publishing industry? Because I am a registered nurse. I know pills and doctor's orders and bedpans. That's what I know. That's what I have been entrusted into for all of these years. But when God puts a seed, all you have to do is be obedient and till that soil, and it will produce whatever it is that you put into it. So
Yes.
I said, you know what? Why not? Let me take this leap of faith and let me try my hand at this magazine. And the concept of it was just so amazing, and it allowed me to utilize other people's gifts and bring them on the scene so that they can get some attention and some spotlight to all the great things that they're about and what they do. I even utilize my children. I got them
Yes.
little people working and contributing to this legacy, because that's what it's all about. It is about our gift to the world. God
Yes.
gives us this thing, and I want to make sure that that thing gets rooted in the ground, so that nothing will be able to erase the purpose and the call that God put on our lives, because nobody knows how much time they're going to have here.
True.
So we can't sit around and say, well, I'm going to do that next week, and I'm going to do that next year. 5 years from now, I'm going to do this. Yeah. I get having goals. I get having a plan, but the season and the time is now. And we've got to make sure that we are stepping up to the plate, and we're trying our hand at everything that
Mm.
God has put into us. So I'm not letting no seeds go untoiled. I got to make sure I everything that God plants in me, I want to make sure that it comes to fruition, that it comes to life, because that's what He has me here for. So
Mhm.
listen, I tried it. I tried it and I did that. And I can put that underneath my accolades, because I was willing. And
Yes.
you have to be a willing vessel. If you're not a willing vessel, then you can wish upon a star all you want, and
Mhm.
nothing's gonna come forward. So we've got to make sure, like, whatever it is in our hearts to do, just come on, push it just a little further, and you just might amaze yourself.
Mm.
And that's exactly what I did with that magazine. I amazed myself. I was so shocked. I was like, what you did that, girl. I had to high five myself.
It looks good, and when you look
Yes,
at
Lord.
this, what you're presenting to the world, the
Yes.
articles that you're presenting,
Hmm.
yeah, you did that thing.
Yes,
And
thank
speaking
you.
of legacy, your kids now understand what it's
Mm-hmm.
like. Mama
Mm-hmm.
is a registered nurse, and
Mm-hmm.
that is fabulous within itself. But
Yes.
you don't have to do just one thing. And I
Mm-mm.
think that's what so many of us, even boomers, we get so hung up on just that one thing. And
Yes.
we've corporate America has been our one thing. But what
Mm-hmm.
about writing that book? There are
Yes.
Sheniqua Johnsons in the world
Mm-hmm.
that will help you get that book
Yes,
out
indeed.
and get it
Indeed.
going. You are a publishing executive.
Yes.
Nobody can take
Yes.
that away from you.
Nope. Not at all.
Shaniqua, when women, men, and I assume you work with men
Yes.
and women,
Mm-hmm.
when men and women come to you as a norm, and I know everybody's not the same, are most people focused and ready to go, or do they need a little bit of coaxing? What
Mm.
is it like to work with you? Because, and I want to stress that because people, I hear you say, we do it now. So for
Mm-hmm.
those of you all who tired of talking and
Mm-hmm.
want the help right now, what is it like to work with you and get that book situated?
Okay, so working with me at Stronger Through Faith Publishing, in my opinion, and I get this from what I've heard from my authors. First and foremost, we are a team, we are a family. So anybody who comes and says, Sheniqua, I need some assistance, I would like you to help me produce this book, you now become a part of my family. So we rock it out together, and our motto is we are stronger together, because that's the truth. Like,
Mhm.
me telling a story is one thing, and I'm only going to get a chance to tell it in front of the people who are listening to me. But if now I'm telling a story, whether it's about you or somebody else on a different platform or to a different audience, now that expands our reach. So now we get to share, to the masses, what it is that we are here to do.
Yes.
So we are connected together. So even after their book is published, they don't get rid of me. They don't get rid of me. I'm still in their inbox. I'm still sending them messages. I'm still texting. I'm still calling, because any opportunities that come my way, I feel obligated to share it. Like, would you not share a bag of cookies with your sister? right? Or to your with your brother, if you get cookies and you're like, oh, I got cookies, they taste good. Don't you want to share them with your siblings or your friends? Like, so to me, it's just a natural thing to do, to say, listen, I've been on, this podcast. Let me set the door for you so you can come in and do what it is that you need to do. So
Mhm.
I want to make sure that anybody that entrusts me with their babies, because that's what the books are. Those are your babies. Those are things that you have nurtured, you've
Yeah.
coddled. Some people are coddling them. You've
Uh-huh.
been holding on to them too long. They're ready. Look, they full grown men now because you've been holding on to them, and you've got to be confident enough to release that. And I feel that with my clients, I help them. I help them get to that point where they say, you know what, it is time. Game time is now. So I kind of, and not everybody that comes to me is 100% ready. Some people just kind of know that this is what they've been called to do. And sometimes they need a little gentle nudging. And I always tell my potential clients, I could do a little bit of it all. I could give you the gentle nudge. I could give you a little poke, and I can also mush you. And like, listen, what are we doing here? Right? So whatever you need, I can give it to you, right?
From start to finish.
Yes, yes. And sometimes we get in our own way. And I don't allow that with my clients. I don't what I always tell them, like, anytime you're in that feeling and you start feeling like you don't know how, get on the phone with me. Get on the phone with me so we can talk through it, because there's no sense in you pondering and scratching your heads. We're stronger together, right? So let's tap in. Let's see where we can brainstorm. And I mean, sometimes I'm on the phone with them all sorts of hours of the night. But you know what? If it means that we're moving by the Spirit of God and we're bringing out and birthing this gift, hey, it's an honor for me to do just that. So I try to be present for my
Mhm.
clients, so it's not like you're going through a bunch of different channels with other people. Like, I'm basically holding your hand through the
Mm.
process. So you're walking this journey and I'm walking right there beside you. And I'm close enough to let you know that you're not alone in this, but I can also give you your space and give you the opportunity to do what it is that you're trying to do. But I'm also going to hold you accountable.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to let you not produce when you've told me you wanted to produce. So I'm going to hold you as like an accountability partner, and I'm going to keep pushing you. I'm going to keep pushing you. And another thing that I do, not only am I a publishing executive, I'm still writing books. Right?
Yeah.
I didn't think that
Mhm.
I would be, but God says, you ain't done yet. So I'm still writing books. So what I like to do is I show my authors my process. I let them see. They see when I start, putting posts up, and how present I am on social media, and the email blast that I'm sending out. Like, they see these things, and then that inspires them to say, "Oh, I got to follow her lead." And the
Mhm.
reason why I do it is just for that reason, is to be an example for them, so that they don't feel like they're on this mold that has never been, treaded upon. No, I'm
Yes.
doing it. I'm walking this walk. And no, it's not an easy journey, but if you have a buddy, it
Mhm.
makes it so much sweeter. Like who likes to go to the gym by themselves? Everybody loves to have a buddy to go to the gym with. You get a good workout in when you got a buddy with you. So I just basically partner with people to bring what it is their vision is, what they've been given, to bring it to life, because it is so needed.
It
It
is.
is
It is.
so needed. So I try to stress that to people, that you
Mhm.
can't sit on this gift that God has given you, these words, these testimonies that He has put inside of you. How much longer do you think somebody could wait
Mm.
to hear your story?
Mhm.
That struggle that you went through, and you came out with shining, stars upon you, that you rose to the top. Somebody's waiting to hear how you made it out, so they can be inspired to make it out of their situation. How
Yes.
long are you going to make them wait?
Yes.
You
Yes.
think somebody standing on the ledge got
Ooh.
years to wait for you to produce your book?
Mm, mm.
What?
That is
Come
important what you're
on.
talking about. I had a conversation with somebody today, and we were talking about mental health,
Mm-hmm.
how it is, even now, we still downplay it in families
Mm-hmm.
and in society. And a person could be one chapter away from being
Mm-hmm.
helped if you tell your story, if you put
Mm-hmm.
it in print. And that just came to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes somebody's not going to hear it by voice, but they'll read it, and they
Yes.
won't read it if you don't get that book out there.
No.
That's
No.
important stuff. And we rarely take that angle and look at it like
Mm-hmm.
that. We hold it close, like we
Mm-hmm.
have a choice, and we
Yeah,
really don't.
yes. We don't, because it's not about us.
Mm-hmm.
It is about who we're going to help. Yes, we're going to be blessed by it, but it is about who we are in charge of. And our jurisdiction spans further than who we've birthed,
Oh, yeah.
or who we grew up in the household with. It
Mm-hmm.
goes farther than that. We have territories that we have yet to even get to. So
Say
we
that.
have a duty. So my book that I am obedient to God to produce can be blessing someone in another country. And I'm sitting in my house, cozied up underneath my blanket, watching Netflix and chilling, right?
You're
While
right.
somebody else is getting their breakthrough, while somebody else is getting their healing, their deliverance, they're being set free because I was faithful enough to my calling to
Mm-hmm.
say that I'm going to write this book. Yeah, it's important.
When you wrote your very first book, and I want
Mm-hmm.
everybody, I know that they heard it, but because you said it a couple of times, it is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were ready to write your first book, did you have an accountability partner, somebody to help you when you felt all this resistance? Because I know I felt a lot of resistance. I didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
just be transparent and tell it all. And
Mm-hmm.
I put limitations side, bottom, all around, but
Mm-hmm.
I broke through. What about you, Sheniqua?
So my first book, I Didn't Know My Own Strength, How My Faith Moved My Mountains, that was released in 2015. So that was, in fact, it was November 2015. I released it for Thanksgiving that year. And I'm a health coach. I'm a health coach and a life coach. And that's actually what I was doing at the time when I heard the response that I needed to write this book. Now, I've always loved to write. Writing has been my therapy. And even from being a teenager, a young adult, I used to always write. I would write out my feelings, and then I would read it back, and I'm like, oh, girl, that was good. Like I would feel good again, one, for
Mm-hmm.
releasing it, and then two, when I read it back, I was like, whoa, like that was good. Like it would just bless me doubly. So I knew that I was called an author. And I remember the day that I heard the Lord tell me that my name was changing. And I was like, my name is changing. Like, what's it going to change to? Tamika, like, what's my name changing to? I don't know what he was talking about. And when I got it, that I was going to be called an author. Like, so in addition to being a registered nurse, in addition to being a health coach, I was also going to be called an author. So I was acceptant of it. And
Mm-hmm.
because at the time I was working as a health coach, what I was famous for doing as a health coach was setting goals. So I
Oh.
used to help people set goals in their lives. So I said, oh, Lord says I need to write. I'm going to put myself on a 3-month goal, and I'm going to get this thing done. So I started. And I was doing. Every day I would come home from work and I would write. And
Yeah.
I was doing so good for that first month. And then that second month came. And I'm like, oh, I got a whole 2 months now. I'm gonna get to it tomorrow. And tomorrow became the next day and the next day. And then here comes that last month of my 3-month goal. And I'm like, oh snap, I did not do what I had said I was gonna do. And instead of me beating myself up, because you know that's what most people do. When you're not reaching your goal, you start spanking your hand, you start casting yourself down. Oh, you didn't do what you said you was going to. No, I was not going to beat up me because I love me. So I'm not going to beat her up. I'm going to offer grace and forgiveness to her. And I said, you know what? You know you're not about to meet this goal that you set. How about we get serious and we set another 3-month mark? Let's do another 3-month mark and let's see if we can do better this time around. So I agreed to that. So one day I'm typing and I call myself being cute and fancy and uploading Word on my cell phone. So while I'm multitasking now. So now while I'm commuting to work, I'm typing on my phone. And one day I came home and I said, okay, let me get what's on the phone onto the laptop so we can do what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And everything went right into cyberspace. The manuscript was I would say about 75% done. And it went bye-bye in cyber world. And I sat there. I remember I was in my room and I cried like a baby.
Yeah.
I boo-hoo cried. You'd have thought somebody had bopped me upside the head. I cried. Because I'm like, all of this effort that I put in, you know, all of the time, the words and everything, and now it's just gone. So after about an hour of crying and having this pity party, God says, do you trust me? He says, do you trust me that I brought you this far, not to only bring you this far, but to see you through the whole way? And I said, yeah, I do trust you. And I know that there's a purpose for it. So he showed me how to just pick myself back up again. I was able to find some of the things that I had written, but not everything. And he was like, if we have to start it again, are you willing to start it again? I said, yes, I am. Because it wasn't about me. And he showed me that. He brought a young lady into my classroom one day, and you know, she was dealing with a situation, and she specifically, out of everybody she could have come to, she sought me out. And the way he connected me to her, I said, you know what? I've got to put this book out. I've got to write this book because you know why? Other people are depending on it. Yes. I get the chance to minister and counsel and comfort people without physically being there with them. So it was a mandate to me that I get this book out. And it was, I felt challenges. There were a lot of challenges to it, but I was able to make it through. And as far as having an accountability partner, it was me. I was my accountability partner. And again, because I was a coach, I was really holding myself to it. And I made it that next 3 months. I made it 3 days short of my deadline. And I rejoiced and I celebrated myself.
Yes.
But this was a situation that God was taking me through. It was a journey. So would it have been nice to have somebody there to, you know, to lean on and cry, cry on their shoulder? Absolutely. But that was actually my season, my process to learn a little bit more about who God is and how to hear his voice, because I always question, am I hearing him or is that me? I'm like, girl, you ain't that smart. You ain't that smart. That wasn't you. That wasn't you. So that was a learning journey for me. And I didn't know my own strength. I really, literally did not know how strong I was until I was faced with different challenges in my life. So that book always serves as a reminder of how strong I really, truly am, because I am a child of God.
I'm just wondering, and I hear what you're saying, because I feel the same way after getting that first one out. When you are working with your clients, they get that book in their hand, it's birthed, and do they use it as a form of reference to look back up on how far they've come in life, or their accomplishments, or how do they refer to their book?
Their book is their gem. It's their baby. It's literally like their baby, something that they have produced, and they take pride in it.
Mhm.
And sometimes they're a little shy about telling people about it, because you know what? For some reason, people think that if you post about your book,
Mhm.
that you're bragging, that you're bragging.
Yeah.
What? Like bragging was back in what, like 1980? Like bragging? I'm not bragging.
Yeah.
I am celebrating. And I teach my authors that no, I want to celebrate you and you need to celebrate you, because that's your accomplishment. And
Yes.
only you know what struggles you went through
Ooh,
to
yes.
produce. It's like a woman in labor, right? We
Hmm.
got war stories. I was in labor 14 hours, or I was in labor 4 days. Like, we have stories of
Yes.
our resilience, of our strength. So why don't you want to tell that story? And
Yes.
why not keep telling that story over and over and over again? And if those
Yes.
people who are watching you get tired of looking at it, well, delete all of them, get you some whole new bunch of friends, and start telling them, because people should be able to overcome
Hmm.
by hearing your testimony.
Yes.
So me saying I have a book, me saying this is what I produce, it's not about braggy me. It's not about sales. It's
Hmm.
about, look at what God has done in my life. And if
Yes.
he can do it for somebody like me, you know he can do that for you.
Yes.
So I teach my clients, if they don't already understand, that their book is a gift, and
Hmm.
it is their gift to the world,
Yes.
and it should be treated as such. And I will listen. And you, they call me the warden, okay? Yeah, I don't want to know why they call me the warden, but I'll tell you anyway, because I'm tough. And I'm no nonsense when it comes to the business of being an author,
The
because being an
business.
author is a business.
Say that.
It's not, oh, I wrote something pretty and cute. No, say that for your mama. Let her put it up on the refrigerator if that's what you think it is. But being an author is more than that. It is a business. And so
Yes.
when I teach my authors, I teach them about the business of being an author. So I teach them about being, getting in speaking engagements and getting on stages. I even created a platform for them. We had an authors expo last year, in fact, March of last year. And I put together this presentation, and they were able to invite all of,
Mhm.
their family and friends. And you know what I did? I got a microphone and I pushed it in their face. And I
Good.
said, get up there. They
Good.
were like, what? 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 Get up there. First time you get up there, you're going to tell the people who you are so they can know why we're here.
Mm.
Second time you get up there, you're going to tell them about this gift, this baby that you just birthed out. And I taught them how to hold the book when they
Good.
stand. I taught them to put a smile on their face. We had a photographer there, because I wanted to groom them. And I'm
Yes.
not saying I know everything about being an author, about being a publisher. No, no, no. I don't claim to have this all figured out. But what I learned, I'm willing to teach anybody who's
Yes.
willing.
Yes. That is huge. That
Mm-hmm.
it is a business. I'm looking at the time. I don't want to have to break away, but you said it correctly.
Yes.
Do not just publish your book
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
out. It's
Mm-hmm.
real. I just have one final question. Don't you think, because it is a business, you owe it to the world to
Yes.
find the newspapers, get that press release
Mm-hmm.
out? You got
Mm-hmm.
to anchor the PR with your accomplishment, and
Yes.
not once or twice, but I love when you say every
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so easy to just go to sleep and say, oh, well, but this is a baby. Feed it,
Yes.
get it to the world. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yes.
You are remarkable, a
Thank you.
remarkable coach, executive, publishing executive.
Thank you.
Excuse me, indeed. I don't even know how to end this conversation because I feel like there's more to be said, but I'm looking at the
Yes.
time and it's just like, I just want people to understand
Mm-hmm.
what you just presented. You gave us how-tos, how to move past that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't make that 3 mark thing.
Mm-hmm.
You did not give up, but
No,
so many
no.
people could have. So you gave us how to keep
Mm-hmm.
moving. You
Mm-hmm.
gave us the why. You
Mm-hmm.
gave us, and now that it's birth, this is what we do.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
gave us how-to information that people can use right now. So
Mm-hmm.
Sheniqua, if people want to get ready and work
Mm-hmm.
with you, how do they get in contact with you?
Well, I hope your listeners are ready because I am here. And as soon as they take the first step, I promise I will meet them the rest of the way. All they have to do is take the first step. It is nothing to, just get on the phone with me. Let's talk this thing out. Let's see where your thoughts are so we can formulate a plan together. So anyone who has a gifting, an idea that they've been sitting on for far too long, come on over to Stronger Through Faith Publishing. We are here ready to serve and to help you bring your book forward. So my website for Stronger Through Faith Publishing is strongerthroughfaith.com. We are on Facebook. We have a Facebook group that I'm getting started, so they can look us up on Facebook. They can also reach out to me if they find me, Sheniqua Johnson, on Facebook. You can DM me. You can send me a message. Whatever it is that you need to do, you can send us an email if you hear this and you want to send out some information. You want to set up some time. Send me an email,
Mhm.
info@strongerthroughfaith.com. So we're here and we're ready to work because 2020 is the year.
Yes, it is.
2020 is the year.
Don't
So
wait any longer.
if
Wait,
they're
get with this
ready,
lady. Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
ready.
there's no time like right now. And
Mm-hmm.
the call to action is get with Sheniqua right now. Make up your
Mm-hmm.
mind
Yeah.
right now
Mm-hmm.
that you're
Mm-hmm.
going to do this, you know?
Yes.
The
Yes.
passion is there. Shaniqua's not just talking about, I think I know how to write a book. She is an author. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you
Mm-hmm.
always want to get with somebody who's been there, done that, doing
True.
it.
Yes.
Man, been there,
Absolutely.
done that, doing it.
And
Then you
doing it.
have a
Yeah.
good, yeah, yeah. So, Sheniqua Johnson RN, oh, I thank you so
Thank you.
much for your time, your passion, how you are birthing the authors that are changing people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big difference, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that they're making money because they're getting the word out
Mm-hmm.
about their books
Mm-hmm.
also. But changing people's lives. So I bow to you. Thank you so very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you
Gosh.
so much for extending this platform. It's important. It's important that people don't wait. What are we waiting for? The
Yeah.
perfect moment, the perfect time that may not ever come.
Mm-hmm.
So the time is now.
Mm.
The time is now. And the best way to do this, don't try to attempt it on your own. Partner up with someone
Yeah.
and learn. And you learn along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Things that you don't know, why struggle through it. Partnering up with someone that's going to help you, that's going to show you the way and point you in the right direction and
Yes.
connect you to great people, right?
That's what
Like
I'm talking
my sister
about.
friend. Yes.
Hey, you need the connections. And everybody says, what's the word year? What's the word for this year? And
Mm-hmm.
everybody says collaboration. But you know what? Collaboration has always been the word. It
Mm-hmm.
always has. Because you partnering up with somebody who knows more than you. You're partnering up with somebody who can connect you. You're just partnering up all along the way so that you
Mm-hmm.
can get to your finish line and
Yes.
beyond. And there is
Yes.
no shame to that. That's where the power is. That's the
Mm-hmm.
seat of power. So,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, do it today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Today. Gosh, because over here, Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation for the last 3 years, I've been talking about author, podcaster, entrepreneur, reinvent yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now there
Yes.
are people that are in the circle here that can help you. There are people
Mm-hmm.
that can help you push the word out, not just to
Yep.
your neighborhood and your homies. They're probably not going to buy your book anyway. Can we tell you the
No,
truth? The
no,
homies ain't
no.
going to buy, you know?
Yes. Yes.
familiarity. But there
Mm-hmm.
are people that names you
Masses.
will never know.
Mm-hmm.
So do it today.
Yes,
So
yes,
I'm looking
yes,
at that clock. I don't want to hold you up. Thank you
yes.
so very, very much. We're going
Thank
to have
you.
this conversation again. So
Yes.
anybody, everybody, we know where Sheniqua Johnson is at, what she's all about, how she is a lady that is dedicated and doing the doggone thing.
Thank
So
you.
I'm Margaret Levette. Her business, her voice, her conversation. I want to draw everybody's attention before we close out to Womel Magazine, WOMELLE Magazine. It is a women's leadership magazine. It's digital, and you can get that copy in your hand. So if you're interested in raising your ceiling as far as your leadership skills go, your business skills, Womel Magazine is the leadership magazine for women. So go to www.womelle.com and investigate that. Become a subscriber. Do that today also. Margot Levette, her business, her voice, her conversation. I'll be back with a brand new episode next week. In the meantime, bye-bye now. Thanks, Sheniqua.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.